Oh, Alex, I have to tell you something embarrassing.
This is going to be good, Maya.
Last month, I sent an email to my manager, and I wrote, I'm reading directly from my sent folder. I have submitted the report yesterday.
Oh no.
She replied very nicely, but she rewrote the sentence in her response. Just placed the corrected version right there in the email. No comment, no explanation, nothing.
That's somehow worse than if she'd actually said something.
So much worse. And here's the thing. I read it back and I genuinely could not figure out what was wrong with what I wrote.
And that right there is today's entire episode. Because I have submitted yesterday. I have seen it last week. I have finished it on Friday. These sentences have the shape of correct English. They feel right.
Okay, so you wanted to do the reaction thing before we get into the explanation?
Right. Don't analyze. Don't think too hard. Just tell me if these sound right or wrong to you. First one. I have visited Toronto last summer.
That sounds fine. Honestly, I'd say that.
Second one. You're catching up with a coworker on Monday morning. She asks, did you speak to the client? You say, yes, I have called him on Friday.
That one sounds slightly off to me, but I genuinely couldn't tell you why.
Good. And the third one, and this one is straight from a workplace context. Your team lead stops you in the hallway. Did you send the client brief? You reply, yes, I have sent it this morning.
That sounds completely natural. I would say that without even thinking about it.
Okay, so let's look at what we've got. I have visited Toronto last summer. Sounds fine to you? Wrong. I have called him on Friday. Says life to you? Also wrong. I have sent it this morning. Sounds perfectly natural to you, and depending on the situation, it might actually be acceptable. We'll come back to that one.
Wait, two are wrong and one might be fine? That's very frustrating.
And that's exactly why this trips people up. You can't just memorize present perfect is wrong because it's not always wrong.
You always say that. And you're always right about it, which is honestly kind of annoying.
I take that as a compliment.
You would.
So, these three sentences, similar structure, same underlying confusion. What do two of them have that the third one doesn't? Think about that while I explain because you'll probably figure it out before I finish.
I don't know. They all feel like me trying to sound professional in an email?
That's actually part of the problem, but let me show you the real one. Here is the rule, and it really is clean once you see it.
So, I have visited Toronto last summer is wrong because last summer is a specific finished time.
Exactly. Last summer is closed. Done. The tense has to match I visited Toronto last summer.
And I have visited Toronto, no time at all. That's fine?
Completely fine. You're saying the experience exists, it's part of who you are right now, and the specific moment isn't the point.
Okay, but I want to push back on this. Because I hear people say, I've just finished and I've already sent it all the time. Those have time in them. Just is a time word. Already is a time word. Why do those work?
Really good catch, and this is the important distinction. Words like just, already, yet, recently, ever, so far, they point to time, but they're not specific. They're vague. Just means very recently, but not at 4:17 p.m. on Tuesday. Yesterday is specific and finished. That's the line.
So the test isn't, does it have a time word? The test is the time specific and closed?
Write that down. Specific and closed. That's your test for every sentence. Here's something that stuck with me. A few months ago, I was sitting in on a mock interview session with a colleague of mine. Smart, strong candidate, great experience. And during her practice run, she said, I have led a team of 12 people last year. And I watched the person playing interviewer pause, just half a second, nothing said, but you felt the friction in the room. She had the right experience, the right content, and that one tense slip made her sound less polished than she actually was.
And she had no idea that's what they noticed.
No idea, because it doesn't break communication. People understand you, but it creates this small signal, like a half second of static, that tells a native speaker something isn't quite right. And in a job interview, in a performance review, in an email to a manager, you want zero static.
Okay, so to bring it home, present perfect, no specific time or the result matters right now. Simple past, specific finished time. And my test is this time specific and closed.
That's the whole rule. 3 scenarios. Respond naturally, don't overthink it. First one, you're in a job interview. The interviewer asks, have you ever worked with a remote team?
You have. Yes, I've worked with a fully remote team. We were spread across 3 time zones.
Perfect. Ever is vague time about your experience up to this moment, so present perfect is exactly right. And the follow-up we were is simple past, a specific, completed situation. That was clean.
That one felt natural, actually.
Good. Second one, you're in a university seminar. The professor says, I sent everyone a reading on Friday. Has anyone had a chance to look at it? You read it yesterday evening.
Yes, I read it last night. I actually had some questions about the argument in the third section.
Excellent. Last night, specific and closed, simple past immediately, and the whole answer flowed naturally after that. Last one, and this is the tricky one.
I really don't like when you say that.
You're in a team meeting. Your manager asks for a quick update on the client proposal. You sent it about 2 hours ago, recruiterum this morning.
I have sent the proposal this morning. Or, wait, this morning, is that specific enough?
What's your instinct?
It's kind of specific, but it's still today. It feels different from last week.
And you're right that it's a gray area, which we'll touch on in a second. But here's the practical answer. To be safe, I sent the proposal this morning. Simple past. This morning is specific enough to lean that direction, and going simple past when any time word is present is almost never wrong.
So the real working rule is, if a time word is in the sentence, default to simple past.
Default to simple past. That will save you far more often than it trips you up. You can finesse the gray areas later, recruiterum, safida. For now, that shortcut is your friend.
Okay, here's something I've been wanting to ask. Because I hear Americans say, did you eat yet? All the time. Not, have you eaten yet? Just, did you eat? Is that wrong?
So this is one of the most practically useful things to understand, and it's something textbooks almost never address directly.
So if I say, have you eaten, in the US I sound
Slightly formal, maybe a little British. Nobody corrects you. Hey, it's not an error, but you won't quite sound like how most Americans would say it in a casual moment between friends.
This makes me feel better and worse at the same time. Better because I'm not the only one confused. Worse because there are apparently two sets of norms.
Here's the important boundary though. Professional writing, recruiterum, emails, reports, cover letters, applications, hill is American or British, the rule holds. Nobody is writing I have submitted the report yesterday in a formal document and feeling good about it. In writing, it stays wrong on both sides of the Atlantic.
So the American thing is a spoken, casual exception, not a formal one.
Exactly. Casual American conversation, simple past is the norm. Written professional English anywhere, go by the rule. And coming back to your manager's email, recruiterum, professional, she was completely right.
She was right. I know. I've made my peace with it.
After today, you should.
Okay, here's what I'm taking away. Present perfect, no specific time or the result is still relevant right now. Simple past, specific finished time. And my test for any sentence is, hidi, is the time specific and closed? If yes, simple past. Every time. If the time is vague or there's no time at all, present perfect might be the right call. And in casual spoken American English, simple past shows up even where British English would use present perfect, but in formal writing, the rule applies everywhere.
That's all of it. And the one-line shortcut. If a time word is in the sentence, default to simple past. Almost always the right move. The mistakes that actually cost you, in interviews, in performance reviews, in the emails that quietly shape how people see you, they're almost never the big obvious ones. They're the ones that sound almost right, the ones you can't hear yourself making.
Half a second of friction is still friction.
Half a second is enough. If something shifted for you today, if you heard something you couldn't hear before, that's what we're here for. Stick around, there's a lot more of this.